Antigone, written by Sophocles. Antigone breaks the new law put in place by Creon, the king of Thebes. This law states that Polynices, Antigone's brother, is not to be buried or given proper burial rites by anyone in the city. This law has been put in place because Polynices fought against Thebes in a recent war. Antigone disagrees with this law. She thinks it immoral and unfair, and so breaks it and gives Polynices proper burial. As she is acting on her morals, honoring family bonds, and honoring the law of the gods, Antigone's actions are justified. Creon, however, disagrees with this. He believes that to honor Polynices is to dishonor Eteocles, Antigone's other brother. Okay. So one reason that Antigone breaks the law is to honor the fact that Polynices is his brother. In scene 2, lines 504 through 505, Antigone says to Creon, "But I would be devastated to see my mother's son die and rot unburied." Polynices' body has been dumped outside the city and left to rot, surrounded by people who care nothing for him, and his only sin is that he fought against Thebes in the war. And he's to be denied one of the most important parts of his culture, all because of a bitter king. Antigone will not stand for this. She doesn't care about her own fate, and she certainly doesn't break the law because of some misguided thought that the gods have asked her to, as Creon once accused her of. Polynices is her brother, and for that she's willing to face death. We see further evidence of her emotional ties in scene 4, line 1005. "A new brother could never bloom for me," she says. Her brothers have killed each other in the war. They cannot come back. Furthermore, her uncle has gone mad with power, her sister is lost to her eyes, and her parents have been dead for a while. Now, Antigone can't do anything about the fact that her parents are gone, and she can't really help her uncle, and at this point she doesn't care much about her sister. But she can honor Polynices. If nothing else, she can give him the proper burial rights she deserves, and, well, if it takes her death, why should she care? At this point, she really has nothing left. Now, additionally, without these burial rites, Polynices' spirit will be unable to pass on into the afterlife. Prologue, lines 30 through 33. Eteocles, they say, was laid to rest, according to law and custom. The dead will respect him in Hades, but Polynices' sorry body can't be touched. It is custom to give even your enemies the proper burial rights, because just because they fought against you does not mean they ought to be sentenced to an eternity of wandering around. Now, Eteocles, of course, has received this, but Polynices is not. Because he fought on the wrong side of the war, in Creon's opinion, he is being refused any sort of proper burial rights. Now, Antigone naturally finds this to be highly unfair. So, in the prologue, in lines 93 through 94, we see Antigone say to Ismene, "Go ahead, please yourself. Defy the laws the gods expect us to honor." From this, we know for sure that without the proper burial rites, Polynices won't be able to pass on. He'll be stuck forever to pass on to wander around. And then the gods don't really care if Creon's being cruel and vindictive. They don't care if Polynices deserves to pass on to the afterlife. They don't care if Polynices doesn't deserve to pass on to the afterlife. If he has the proper burial rights, he can pass on. If he doesn't, he can't. Antigone doesn't want to accept this. If it takes her death, if it takes the loss of her last sane family member, she's going to honor Polynices. It is, after all, unfair to subject Polynices to an eternity of wandering because of one cruel king. Now, the play itself kind of revolves around this huge difference of opinion between Creon and Antigone. Okay. So, prologue, lines 27 through 29. It's Creon, the way he's treated our brothers. But hasn't he buried one of honor? But he shamed the other, disgraced him. Creon sees himself as being just. He thinks he's honoring the city, and he thinks he's honoring the gods, and he thinks he's honoring Eteocles. In scene 2, lines 556, we see Creon say to Antigone, "Then why do you honor Polynices when doing so desecrates Eteocles?" And from this, we know that Creon thinks he's in the right. To his mind, Eteocles fought for Thebes, and Polynices didn't. And in the end of the war, they fought against each other and killed each other. So to him, to give Polynices the proper burial rites is to disregard everything Eteocles has done and see it as useless and worthless. But Antigone knows this isn't true, and so she replies with, "Eteocles wouldn't agree with you," in scene 2 again, lines 557. Now, Antigone has grown up with her brothers. She knows them, and even if she's been gone for a bit, she has a better idea of what Eteocles would want than Creon, and besides, Creon's being a little bit crazy. And so we can easily say that honoring Polynices would not be desecrating Eteocles. Now, in conclusion, Antigone's action of breaking the law and giving Polynices the proper burial rites is entirely justified. Thank you.